this episode is going to be the most important one because it gives us an indication of inconsistency within people who are working for the same system. I know you are saying, Bongan, but how come? What are you saying? I am saying there was a confession that was done by accused number 1, and it was done to Mboto, right? Then there was a confession that was done by accused number 2 to the magistrate. The magistrate that we're talking about is the magistrate that was testifying today. When he testified, he said, everything that they use to take confession is the same. So we are going to weigh how he took the confession against how Mboto took the confession. It's going to be interesting. You will see. It's going to be this video. It's one video that you need to watch from the beginning until the end because we're going to be comparing that. Remember also, I told you about my highly classified source that works within the system. This source then had asked somebody on top in the system, right? Somebody close to the president. Yeah, Jay, something like that. They had asked a person that works there to say, how do you take confession? And the person said, when you are taking a confession, you need to make sure that the person who's confessing, number one, you need to undress him. Make sure that there are no visible scars, right? And take a picture as an evidence to that. Now, wait a minute. We are coming. Today it's going to be very, very interesting. So we're going to have to weigh this whole thing. We're going to weigh it against what we already have. You know what I'm saying? We are going to have to do that, and it's going to be an interesting one. I am inviting you into this journey because, wow, when I was listening today, I was listening to this magistrate by the name of Cronje, who is a magistrate whom Bongani Ntanzi, accused number 2, allegedly confessed to. You know what I'm saying? Now, it's going to be interesting. Please stick around with this one. As you stick around, there are just quite a number of things that I want you to do for me. Number 1 is that you subscribe. 2, you like the video. 3, you comment in the comment section below. 4, you watch this video until the end. 5, you share this video. 6, you watch the ads. You know, guys, do you pay to do all of this? No. You don't pay even a single cent. Today, I was at the bank and I met with a tribe that did not, she hasn't subscribed to my channel and she's old. I'm not going to expose what somebody here. I was in the bank and I had a conversation with this old tribe that is not subscribed, but she's watching my video every day. Guys, 67% of you guys are not subscribed. And according to the stats, they are saying I'm only going to reach 34,000. Look on the 24th of December. We can break the record. I put it to you that you subscribe now. I put it to you that you share this video now. And I put it to you that we need to take this channel to 30,000 subscribers before the end of October. And it is possible. I put it to you that it's possible. Let's start with this one. Now, Cronje, who is the magistrate. My voice is too high. I'm getting too excited. Cronje is the magistrate who accused number 2, Bongani Ntanzi, allegedly confessed to. Right? The magistrate then proceeded to writing and the magistrate then reduced everything into writing and deemed let's leave that one. It's not important, you know what I'm saying? Now, Advocate Baloy asked the question. It says there is also an audio recording of an alleged confession. That is what we were told today. There are 2 alleged confessions by Bongani Ntanzi. One to a police officer and the other one alleged to Magistrate Cronje. No problem. This lady who speaks Afrikaans. We say no problem. Now, according to what we know right now, the 2 confessions they were made by Bongani Ntanzi. One before a police officer in June 2020 and the other one before a magistrate. Now, I'm just to give you a little bit of a context, right? So the lawyer now, the new lawyer, Advocate Tulane Mngomezulu says the statement was taken under duress and Bongani Ntanzi never signed it. It was not made voluntarily and freely. That is the argument that we're going to have here. But remember, duress means it was not like, it's not right now. Today I said I went to the bank. Nobody forced me. Nobody told me to go there. I went there because of the freedom of choice. right? I'm recording this video because of freedom of choice. I'm actually indebted to the tribe. You know, the people who said to me, Bongani, we don't watch the trial. We depend on you. So I'm indebted to that, but it's out of choice. Bongani Ntanzi did not have the choice that I have. I can choose not to do this video, even though there are people that depend on this, but I can choose not to. But obviously I won't. But duress also means that he did not have the luxury that I have to say, I'm going to do the video or not, to get a point. Number two, it says it didn't sign it. That is what Mgomezulu argued from the word go. Oh, I was like, Look, Cronje says he has been a magistrate from 1996, and then okay, I'm not gonna focus on this. She was a magistrate. It's neither here or there for me. But let's focus on the look, on the 24th of June 2020 at about 11 a.m. She was asked to go to First Loras Magistrate Court, where the alleged confession was gonna be happening at the you know what I'm saying? Blah 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 blah. No problem. So she gets there. I don't want to get into this unnecessary details. I was driving with this and blah blah blah. But she told us that okay, she arrived at about 25 past 2 p.m. Then proceeded to the office where she was appointed. Look, where it was appointed and prepared for me and blah blah blah. Now here is an interesting one. Before we get into the confession itself. Now, she says, in the passage, she found a strong contingent of Eguruleni Metro Police officers who were armed. These people, when she asked them to say, wait a minute, hey, good guys, I see you, you are here. You know what I'm saying? Oh, she says, oh, please, wait a minute. And she saw that there was a young man there with, who was handcuffed and blah, blah. This police, she says, she saw this man and she asked somebody to provide them the names of the officers that were there to secure this high criminal Bongani Ntanzi. Right. But they refused to look. They refused to give them the names of the people to do. It was difficult for them to get the reason. The reason is very. There's something shady here, right? You will notice that there were a number of them. But later on, there was this guy now that was more or less like maybe he was a commander. Listering initially mentioned to me that he was intimidated by me. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, wait a minute, you are intimidated by the magistrate court, but you are an officer of the law. What's intimidation? You know what I'm saying? Did she get there and you know what I'm saying? Did you see those point? So this leaked information here, it's very important. Remember, when you are deciding a case, this information is very important, right? And then she asked the names, and then it was difficult for her to get the names of these officers that were there. Why were they not willing to commit if whatever they were doing was legal, was procedural? Why? Because I mean, if I am I'm making an example, if I'm a Metro Police, I'm sent to guard this thief. You know what I'm saying? So, and then a person comes there and look, a person who is still in the system, whom we know that this person is in the system. Why is it difficult to produce your names to such a person? Do you see, right there is a problem. That's our problem number one. Nevertheless, let's continue. And then, she moves to room 2 where the confession was to be made, and then set up a computer, which we don't care about that. You said, you know what I'm saying? We're not going to care about this little information. And then she says, Sergeant Mobane informed me he was from the National Cold Case Investigation Unit, and he was the person who brought everybody into this whole thing, right? No problem. She brought this accused to the office for the confession. Now, Maubane requested, so Sergeant Maubane was requested for his appointment certificate and asked him to make a copy of it and blah 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 blah. And then now. It was brought to my attention that the officers had left the passage, and I didn't count how many were there, but approximately 8 people. You know what I'm saying? Now, this is what becomes important. 8 people, when she arrives, were there, but as soon as she asked them to commit by giving the names, they disappeared. Why? Why is it that they are there, followed the procedure, but they can't commit? Follow that. There's no logic there. It says there were some shady dealings there. But wait a minute. Maubane gave me the details and asked him to leave. The door was closed, and inside I remained myself, the interpreter, the man in handcuffs, and the man in the suit. That will be the lawyer. You know what I'm saying? And then the officer left the room, and those Mr. Listerine and what. I don't care about this one, right? And then Cronje told me that the officers who had been on the passage left, and I didn't count how many were they, and I could say more or less 8. I didn't leave the office again thereafter. I couldn't confirm if they had left. I think here it feels like this person is indicating something. There is a message that is being communicated by this one. How come if Bongani Ntanzi was guarded by heavily armed officers, suddenly they are free just to disappear? That means he's no longer dangerous. He was dangerous before the magistrate arrived, but then when she has arrived, then they suddenly disappear. It says something. You know what I'm saying? Okay, she's left with the man in handcuffed, and then okay, Cronje spoke to the man in handcuffed in an informal way to make him comfortable, and I spoke to him in English, and there was an interpreter. All that information, I'm not interested in this one. Let's move very quick, because yeah, we need to save people's data, and we need to save a lot of things here. Now, there comes the real problem now. Then we proceeded with the completion of the document, and he said he was Bongani Ntanzi accused number 2. This is where it gets interesting. Cronje then Mnyikato proceeded a certificate indicated that he was a lawyer, and confirmed that he was the legal representation of the gentleman in handcuffs. That means there was a lawyer of accused number 2. Boom, boom, boom. Ha. Do you get it? Do you get it? 2 things that we have now come to establish. Number 1, when accused number 1 was making the confession, right? When accused number 1 was making the confession, he was taken by this matron, Monareng, if I'm not mistaken, Munare or whatever. He handed him over to this person. They were not heavily guarded there. You know what I'm saying? Do you notice that? The number 2 thing, do you notice here that here there is a lawyer that represents accused number 2, but on the first one there's no lawyer that represents accused number 1, but we're supposed to believe that everything was done in accordance. Do you see the point? Now they are trying to come up with this idea that no, he just agreed that he didn't need a lawyer. But I'm showing you things here. Do you notice 2 things that are done when taking the confession of accused number 2, Bongani Ntanzi, but the same things are not done when taking the confession of accused number 1, Moses Beer? Notice these 2 things. Let's proceed. I'm going to show you something. Now, let's get to point number 3. Now, point number 3 is also very important. I asked him whether he had any medical condition or injuries, and noted it as such. Okay. Compare that with accused number 2. Okay, they said that they did that. Cronje then goes on to say, I then proceeded with the completion of the form after the man in handcuffs introduced himself as Cronje Bongani Ntanzi. Says he noted the general mood, clothing, and the conduct. General mood, clothing, and the conduct. Was that noted in accused number 1? I doubt. Right? Then she continues to say, I then asked him if he had any injuries, and wrote as he explained. I proceeded with the form and put the question as they are on the proforma form and noted down every answer. He says nothing was written on the proforma when she got there. Right. Then Baloye was asking, how many confession have you taken? And she says, I don't know, but probably around 50. Right. Sure. In South Africa, you become an expert, so let's call her an expert of confession. Okay, right. go at the shows. He went through down the standard confession questions and all the stuff. There was an interpreter that interpreted to Bongani Ntanzi, and you know what I'm saying. And let's leave that. And everything was interpreted back to him, and I asked him to sign each and every page in front of the interpreter and the lawyer that was satisfied with it. Right now, notice that the defense says Bongani did not sign that thing. Right. So it's gonna be interesting. Now we're gonna have to prove Bongani's signature. Now we're gonna have to prove that did Bongani Ntanzi signed those things, right? Now, so the standard questions according to Cronje was that the standard questions were about 1 to 13, right? Right. So everything was interpreted back to Bongani Ntanzi. Right. Let's proceed then. I noted that the defendant was confident and had a good eye contact. That means the fact that she's giving details that we were not given in the other confession. According to this magistrate, is that she observed the mood of this person and she found him to be confident. That means that the confession of accused number 2, Bongani Ntanzi, he was confident that you can't be confident if you are forced to confess. To get a point, you must be shy. You must be, you know what I'm saying. But according to her, here, she was confident and she was making eye contact. Do you know that the significance of making an eye contact? It means that you have got nothing to hide. You are speaking freely. If you don't understand the language, look at the body language, it means that you are speaking freely. That is what she's saying here. You know what I'm saying? Thieves, they usually don't hold eye contact, right? Then she says in terms of the handcuffs, she says they were loose, not tight, and he had no visible marks on his face and hands. Do you notice that? Now we found, look, point number 4 here is that accused number 1's handcuffs were tight and his hands were swallowed. Do you notice that? But in accused number 2, the handcuffs were loose. Do you see the point? We are still talking about same confession. That is supposedly it was not taken under duress. Oh my God. Who do you believe? The other one, his handcuffs were tight. The other one were loose. The other one's mood, it is not explained, but the other one's mood is explained that, he was bubbly, everything was okay. Okay, so wait. So then Advocate Maloyi highlighted the fact that there is also a recording of this confession. Do we have the recording according to, for accused number 1, Moses Biya? No, there's no recording. The other one, there is a recording, whilst the other one, there is no recording. But this confession is taken and the procedure is followed. Now, I'm going to ask you this question. Between the two, who followed between the two confessions, do you think the procedure was followed to the latter by both parties? So far, we have found now 4 things that are done when taking the confession from accused number 2, Bongani Ntanzi. There's 4 things were not done when taking the confession from Moses Biya. But these people are following the same procedure of taking confession. Oh, it's going to be interesting here. But let's continue. There's a recording and received in the morning. The defense also confirmed that they want to listen to that. No problem. We said, okay, no problem. We will take that. Advocate Zandile Mshololo disclosed that they have not been given the opportunity to listen to the audio as the alleged in confession because they are also entitled to it. I like speaking about this, I like how the judge was speaking today. Most of the time he's very harsh. I could see the irritation in his face when he was addressing Advocate Mshololo. I could tell that he's got a thing for Advocate Mshololo and he's got a thing for Mnisi as well. You know what I'm saying? These two, but I like the fact that he managed to compose himself. Like, guys, being a judge or being a president doesn't mean that you just have to talk the way you want with people. You speak on top of people. While a person is saying this, you just say something. You just cut them and you say whatever you're saying. it's good to listen sometimes, even if people are not making sense, but listen to them and then correct them also in a good tone. So I always have a problem with our judge when it comes to his tone. But today I must give him credit. Yeah, so then Advocate Mshololo, then the lawyer ruled and said, no, I will allow you guys to do that. Now, the judge actually declined the request from Mshololo to adjourn until 2 at that time so that they can listen to the confession, which I felt as well. That was like, the judge is fair here. I mean, if they listen to the confession before, what difference does it make? Because the cross-examination will be out tomorrow, right? So you can still listen to the magistrate, then watch the video, later on cross-examine him. It makes a lot of sense. I was like, I'm with the judge here, because remember here we are about the truth. So I was like, even as much as the decision is against Advocate Mshololo, but I am honestly with the judge here. Now, okay, I've just closed the issue. You got Advocate Mshololo and all the stuff. And then Cronje says, I asked the deponent if he had any medical condition or injuries. He said does not want to report on apart from a heart problem, and he didn't bath from the 16th of June 2020. Right, so he's got a heart condition. And then also the problem was that he didn't bath. Question was asked about question I asked, who brought you to my office and for what reason? He replied, Sergeant Mohwane, escorted by Metro Police. The police told me to come to court to make a statement, and I want to make a statement. I'm happy to make a statement. The police told me to come to court to make a statement. I came to court. I'm happy to make a statement. Let me repeat that one. Maybe you didn't hear it. Now let me say it very slow. Questions was asked, who brought you to my office and for what reason? Bongani Ntanzi replied, I'm brought by Sergeant Mohwane, escorted by Metro Police. Now listen, the police told me to come to court to make a confession, to make a statement, and I want to make a statement, and I'm happy to make that statement. All right. Let's take that. Let's take that. We have a long journey here. This signature on page 8, where after the confession was taken and the deponent indicated he was satisfied. Remember that the argument from Advocate Mgomezulu that this guy did not sign here. We still have a long way. During cross-examination, it's gonna be late. Police told me to make a statement. I want to make a statement. I'm happy. Now, Advocate Baloy, did you mention? Look, you mentioned you switched on your laptop before you started. Where this proceeding recorded? Look, Cronje says yes, they were recorded. Okay, so. Obviously, the recordings now will be listened by all the defense counsel will listen to them. Will have a chance to listen to them to this whole thing, right? Now, let's go on a little bit now. And this same magistrate says, I inform him he has the right to a lawyer or to have a lawyer or if he doesn't have one, he can approach legal aid. He answered. I understand. Right. Do you wish to remain silent or make a statement? He answered, I will continue to make a statement. It's interesting. Don't worry when. I will continue to make a statement. I caution the deponent that I question the deponent that he is under no obligation to make a statement, and it could be used against him in court. His answer was yes. I asked him if he still wants to make a statement. His answer was yes. I informed him he has a right to remain silent. Okay. I then recorded it. Appeared to me he is sober and his sane senses, and it was recorded that the deponent was calm, maintain eye contact. He then make a request to have bath. So far, let's continue. Right. And then ask him, come, look, he came to, look, who brought it to my office and blah, blah, blah. I was now writing same things. Now, look, he described the appearance and says he was relaxed and blah, blah, blah. Let's leave that one. So I'm just looking at the most important information so that we don't make this video that much longer. Now, here's another interesting one. He asked, did police or anyone assault you to make a statement? He said, no, not at all. Did anyone influence you to make a statement? He said, no, he is on his own. Did anyone encourage you to make a statement? He says, no. Do you spot the difference here? Oh, wait a minute. Bongani Ntanzi says, I was told by the police to come here and make a statement. Did you hear that? Listen to this one. Did anyone influence you to make a statement? No. Was that person in sober senses? Is that not a contradictory there? I mean, I'm asking you because I'm probably seeing things maybe in a different light. You're probably seeing things also in a different light. I want you to tell me. I've just read to you that did anyone ask you or influence you to make a statement? Or Bongani Ntanzi previously said, police told me to come and make a statement, and I will make that statement. I'm happy to make that statement. Here, did anyone influence you to make the statement? No. Oh, guys, do you see the contradiction there? I'll leave you. So Mr. Mjiak or Ntanzi's lawyer was present the whole time, and then that's what she told us. Cronje in evidence chiefs is done, and yeah. So after that, there will be cross-examination tomorrow. But I don't know if you noticed this. The key here is: did anyone force you or influence you to make a statement? In which Bongani Ntanzi responded, no one, but previously he had said that, hey, the police told me to come here and make a statement, so I came to make a statement. So who influenced who here? Guys, maybe the question that we need to ask is, was it Bongani's idea from the word go to say, I want to make a confession? I'll argue. No, it wasn't his idea from the beginning. The police told him that you need to make a statement. So I am drawing one thing here. Bongani Ntanzi Bitso was actually influenced to make a statement. From what I'm seeing, I'm not a lawyer, but from what I'm seeing, the number two thing that I got here, procedure of taking a confession is not the same. I found 4 to 5 things that were done when taking Bongani's confession, but the same things were not done when taking Moses Bia's confession, accused number 1. The question is, same process, same system, but things are done differently. What are we supposed to believe? I'm going to leave it with you, right? You're going to have to answer that one for me, because something is fishy with this whole thing. You know what I'm saying? But before I leave you, there's this part that doesn't give me peace. There were heavily armed people on the passage, probably 8. But as soon as this magistrate says, give me the names of each and every individuals here, boom, no, they were not willing to do that. And also, they disappeared. Few were left, right? Why? I want to leave it there. You have to answer me on that one. Why? You and I, we will meet in the next video. But until that next video, please take care.